Ashburnham. A small area located in Peterborough. A town which sits with underlying art emerging from the contents of the street. A bridge standing among the landscape. A bridge connecting Hunter Street over the Otonabee River. Bringing the livelihood of art into the town began with the bridge. In 1858, Ashburnham was incorporated into what was once referred to as the East City and the Scotch Village. On December 18, 1903, Ashburnham was welcomed into the city of Peterborough. Walking around this village today, various forms of art and mediums are presented. The landscape. Graffiti, or to others, art created by the people of Ashburnham. The murals, done by what is believed to be true artists. But is the art true, just because a true artist completed the work? Or can we call people of Ashburnham the artist of the town, making the graffiti the true art? Can we call the landscape art, the building of the town itself, the land before people came along, the true art of Ashburnham? On my journey of exploring the town, I'd gotten lost. I'd luckily wandered onto Hunter Street, taken in by the landscape before me, then passing over the graffiti, looking at the style of those living in Ashburnham, then finding myself at the bridge, reflecting on the murals showcasing the history of the town. But the question remains, where does the art lie? The landscape. Can we call that art? Looking at the river, one can see that as the true holder of the art in town. The bridge. Being a part of the landscape, can I walk across the bridge and believe that I am walking on what is considered to be art? Is it more than a means of transportation? There are peaks of the human style. The bridge contains carvings, showcasing a design. When I walk across, I walk on a medium, ready to help produce the art of the land. W.J.T. Mitchell presented the 9 points of the empirical landscape, bringing us closer to the answer. The 9 points goes as follows. 1. Landscape is not a genre of art, but a medium. 2. Landscape is a medium of exchange between the human and the natural, the self and the other. 3. Landscape is a social hieroglyph that conceals the actual basis of its value. It does so by naturalizing its conventions and conventionalizing its nature. 4. Landscape is a natural scene mediated by culture. 5. Landscape is a medium found in all cultures. 6. Landscape is a particular historical formation associated with the European imperialism. 7. 5 and 6 do not contradict one another. 8. Landscape is an exhausted medium, no longer viable as a mode of artistic expression. Like life, landscape is boring, and we must not say so. 9. The landscape referred to in 8 is the same as 6. I like to focus on the first point. This bridge, and the land which stands, such as the parks, houses, and water, are not a genre of art. The land which we look at cannot be called art, yet it can be a medium. Art may be produced with the help of the landscape. The bridge holds the connection to human art as it is used as a canvas, displaying murals, graffiti, and allowing for art to be showcased on the arches and surrounding material. This bridge is a medium of expression, allowing for different types of artists to display their mind on the worn-out walls, expressing the history of the self and the town. Look around Ashburnham. The scene of this town does seem like art. There are 2 parks located around the bridge, making the space inviting. But perhaps this bridge is only a medium. Despite the landscape being an exchange between the human and the natural, existing for art to be produced on, is it still art? The bridge, the landscape, serves as a mediator, connector to culture. The bridge brings us to art, and brings us further into Ashburnham, connecting us to the other, the culture produced over time through this town. Passing over this bridge, I can see that it is in fact a medium for art, being used to carve into, draw and paint on, and share expression. Personal aspects of the human-made art is presented through this bridge and through this town. It is a hub of art. Graffiti is made prominent, a use of expression across a once empty brick wall. Graffiti is a long-standing form of art which has been placed around various locations, time and time again. When looking at graffiti, I can't help but call it art. It was created by people, artists like you and me, as a way for self-expression. That, to me, is art. Those who choose to display their forbidden work on vacant walls of the town are painters of modern life. Charles Baudelaire may call them the flaneur, walking about the streets of Ashburnham, strolling and observing until finding the perfect, secretive space to display their modern art onto. I walk these streets and view a gallery of contemporary art. They are artists who live today and produce their new wave of art. Artists such as Jean-Michel Basquiat can be compared to the secretive artists of Ashburnham. Much of the art around this town has the same reflective spirits of the work. Basquiat's street style coined the term neo-expressionism, the revival of expressionism among emerging artists. Isn't that what Ashburnham's street art consists of? Neo-expressionism, shouting out perspectives and feelings through the art produced on the medium such as the landscape. His work, called Untitled, can be compared to the work around Ashburnham, such as the skeletal head hidden in the alley of Hunter Street, or his work Self-Portrait, and his comparison to the graffiti of the man under the archway of the bridge. Is this the art form, graffiti, the new true art form of Ashburnham? Is it the style that is wanted, created by artists living in town? The murals, standing in the streets, building up the culture of Ashburnham, created to lighten up the town by bringing artists such as Kristen McRae and Jill Stanton, murals such as Bloodroot and Electric City. In 2014, Ashburnham had the idea of sprucing up the town, bringing the James Stevenson Park into the location of the bridge. Along with the renovation of the town, it was decided to bring in an artist a year later, Jill Stanton, to create Electric City. This mural, which documents the history of electricity through Peterborough, displays an electric array of art. This mural inspired others to come and produce murals around the town. Bloodroot came in the year 2016, displaying the work of an artist from Edmonton. The growing bloodroot stretching under the second arch of the bridge stands to represent a flower native to North America, tying in indigenous roots. When I walk the streets, I can see that the production of murals displayed under the arches of the bridge inspired other artists around Ashburnham to create their own murals as well. Restaurants, streets, brick walls, murals are now an epidemic in Ashburnham. Did the town purposely install their own art to get rid of unwanted graffiti? Are the murals a way of stating that this is the true art form? Walter Benjamin shares a few words in The Art of Mechanical Reproduction, stating that a work of art has always been reproducible. The reproducible murals displayed represents the reproducible concept of artists, all creating a work to bring in a more welcoming space, a more vibrant space in Ashburnham. Benjamin shares that even the most perfect reproduction of a work of art is lacking in one element: its presence in space and time, its unique existence at the place where it happens to be. With the reproduction of moments such as Electric City and Bloodroot, murals would share a mirroring moment or object. Are they lacking the original existence? Murals are a recreation of one thing or another, but perhaps each mural, being situated in a very specific location, serving an individual specific purpose, means that the murals are created to produce a true and unique form of art. Examining each mural, postmodernism comes to mind. The idea of postmodernism comes from the viewing of the rejection of modernism through the expression behind the murals. Artworks such as ones painted in order to bring a lighter area are produced to speak on behalf of expressing a meaning, such as bringing a happier space into the town. With the purpose of the murals being evident, does this mean that murals are a true art form of Ashburnham? Does meaning and a hired artist mean that murals are real art? So what is the difference between the different types and perspectives of art? Landscape, graffiti, and murals. Who is to decide which form is considered to be true art within Ashburnham? When I look at each form and reflect back to the various locations with art produced on various mediums, for a variety of meetings, I begin to wonder if each stands to represent the true art within Ashburnham. Reflecting on art, I realize that it is up to the viewers, those who walk around the town experiencing the art forms in the present moment, to come to the present moment, to determine where the art lies.